You will not be able to stay home, brother.
This is the Parley, a place where guests are required to put their money where their mouth is, where we double down on the discourse and conversation. That's the only currency accepted. Proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network.
Welcome to the Parley, proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network. And like that lady said off the top, this is the place where conversation is the only currency accepted. I am one of your hosts, the Godfather Nate Milton, over 10 years in the game.
Okay.
Ain't a damn thing changed. I am still your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster, and we have a lot to talk about on this edition of the Parley. First episode for the month of March 2026, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he already ready. He stays ready so he doesn't have to get ready. One of my tag team partners, the esteemed Professor Chris Ely, in the building. But before we bring out the doc, let's bring out this brother that's behind the scenes on the ones and twos, the super producer, one of the greatest producers in the game. Some people call him the Caitlin Clark of podcast production. That's why this man has earned the moniker of Caitlin Dark. Y'all give it up for two-way Ray Williams. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, now, Brother Nate, I'm doing all right. I'm glad to be joining you once again here on the Nefarious Media Network. And I know that there's a new audience that is tuning in with us. So, and I know that is related to the good professor himself. So I'll let you guys go ahead and take it from there.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the professor is now ready to make his debut, because this brother has been down with us for a minute, and it's always good to chop it up with my brother and my friend Chris Ely. So y'all give it up for the Mayor Pro Tem of Los Angeles, California. Y'all give it up for the angry intellectual. Some people call this brother Moderna Chris. Some people call this brother the Sultan of Substack. But I just call him Doc. Y'all give it up for Chris from LA, a.k.a. Professor Chris Ely. Can we rock? What's up, Doc?
Chilling, man, chilling. Hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. Celebrating 30 years of The Wire today. So let's get it on and popping.
So as long as Ray doesn't sabotage you as he is wont to do with the technical capabilities, we should be good. But Ray, I'm gonna need you to be on your best behavior. Like we said, we in front of some new eyeballs potentially, but also Chris gave you a subliminal warning right there, letting you know it's the anniversary of The Wire. So you come at the professor, you best not miss Ray Williams.
Oh, I'll never come at the professor. I'd rather have him as an ally than as an enemy.
Well, speaking of enemies, Chris, we got a lot of stuff we want to talk about on this edition of the Parley here at Nefarious Media. But I think we need to kind of start with what's going on in the world as we speak, what's happening right now. And it reminds me of when I used to work at Zaxby's. So I'm going to give y'all a little story time for a second. I was a shift lead and ultimately an assistant manager at Zaxby's for a little minute, man. Shout out to Zaxby's, home of the Big Zax snack, the lemon pepper steppers, all your favorite chicken-based items. And we had a manager at the time, Chris. Everybody called him Uncle Curtis. His name was Curtis, and it was spelled Kurtis, and he was quick to remind you, I'm Uncle Curtis, Curtis with a K. And so whenever it got rough, whenever it was like one of them crazy days, especially like around the holiday season when we just get swamped with like traffic from people coming from the mall getting something to eat, or we'd have like Friday nights after football games and we'd be swamped. Curtis would rally the team. We get through the night. And then while we're doing the cleaning at the end of the night, Ray, if you walk by the office, you wouldn't hear a sound except Uncle Curtis behind closed doors, just, Mama, Mama, there's too many of us dying. Brother, brother, brother. Like that was his way of decompressing after a rough day, just singing Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, possibly having a drink. I don't know. It was behind closed doors, allegedly. I don't know what the brother could have been sipping on. But that was his go-to, Chris. When everything went crazy in the restaurant, he just, what's going on? What's going on? So Chris, and get ready with the soundboard, Ray. It's been a wild week for everybody's favorite fairly elected president. Hit it, Ray.
45-47. 45-47.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, 45-47 himself. Coming off of a weird performance at the State of the Union. Now he beefing on these streets, Chris. Beefing with Iran and them. And so obviously we like to talk to you about politics anytime, Chris, but particularly when there's stuff like this going on. So what was your take, man, when you first saw this, and where do you think this is gonna go, brother?
Okay, so the first thing I thought was like some kind of triage, right? The Epstein files are still in the background, in the foreground, and they're not going away. And I think that's the biggest problem for Trump world at the moment. That's been the most salient story in Trump world out of anything they've ever done. And this is a long list of things, but so many of their sycophantic followers and fans were married to this Epstein story. And when Donald Trump kind of blew it off and acted like, it wasn't a big deal and they weren't going to do anything about that, the story never went away. So, I mean, they've done so many different things: suspend Jimmy Kimmel, have Don Lemon arrested, just ICE agents going to cities. And the latest is this war. And the thing is, I wish I could give the audience like a clear one reason why they're doing this invasion, but every single cabinet member Trump has is given a different reason, so it's really hard to say. Like, they're one of the most, I guess probably one of the most prevailing things is that Iran has like these crazy ballistic missiles that can go from all the way to the Eastern Hemisphere to the Western Hemisphere. And we got to watch out for that. And it's a bunch of fuckery, a bunch of nonsense. Because Iran doesn't have that kind of nuclear capability or those kind of weapons. Just if you look at, you could probably ask ChatGPT or Claude or something this, but they don't have that kind of weaponry, that's going to come way over here. But yeah, again, it's either, if you listen to Lindsey Graham, it's a preemptive measure. If you listen to Donald Trump, it's a defensive measure. If you listen to Pam Bondi, it's just because Trump is just such a great guy. If you listen to Pete Hegseth, it's for another reason, and it's just so much different stuff, and all the while our US consulates and stations in these countries, are getting attacked, people are dying, Americans are dying. So it's really hard to kind of like know exactly where this is going to go. Is this the beginning of like a world war? And all that stuff remains to be seen. And also, depending on who you ask in Trump world, this is either going to be a long-term war or a short-term war. I don't even know which. I don't even remember. If you remember in the audience, please let me know. But I believe Trump said it was only going to go on a few months, and then or it's not going to go on that long. And another person said it was going to go on a couple years. Again, at least with the Bush people, this is, and I'm writing about this right now. So
talk to him, Chris.
At least with the Bush people, they were lying about weapons of mass destruction. It was a big fucking lie. It was a lie while they were telling it. It was discovered and proven to be a lie once the war was over. Republicans admit to that now. Everyone admits to it now. But at least everybody had a consistent story, Everybody was in one accord with the lie,
Right.
Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, Rumsfeld, all of them were like, weapons of mass destruction, mushroom cloud, weapons of mass destruction, mushroom cloud, weapons of mass destruction, mushroom cloud. And this one is like 50 different stories, 50 like different lies, different micro lies. And it's not something that you could easily keep up with.
No, so there's layers to this, Chris. There's levels to this. So you mentioned number one, like the dysfunction, and not even like if you're gonna be, for lack of a better term, a criminal organization within the structure of the federal government, at least keep your lies straight, folks. But then the other thing that gets me, Chris, is we also see not only the lack of intelligence on Trump's part, but also the lack of basic human empathy. When the news came out that folks had been killed in some of the the retaliatory attack, and he's just people die. It's gonna happen in war. Not much you can do about it. Like, you cannot start a damn war, cuz. Like that could be a first step to preventing more death. But ultimately, to me, I think what makes this so distasteful is that you hit the nail on the head out the gate, Professor. All of this is just a smokescreen. It's just a diversionary tactic to get folks from talking about your man Trump out here on the island, kid.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I ain't had nothing. I don't even know this man, Jeffrey Epstein. Dragging Hillary Clinton up here to testify in the hearing. And Hillary, I don't always agree with Hillary Clinton, Chris. But with Hillary, is like, hey, I don't even know. Like, I literally don't know old boy, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, you need to talk to my husband. You need to talk to Trump. You need to talk to these other folks that was out there kicking it on the island. I ain't got nothing to do with it, player. And then you had Bill Clinton, President Clinton testify as well, man. And it's just like, dog, the way that the Republicans have flip-flopped on this, maybe not so much the base as you are always quick to allude to, but the folks in government that was all about this Epstein stuff, and we got to find the truth, and we got to protect these victims. Now they're like, hey, we'll get back to that, Chris. We'll get back to that. We got other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and that's why they've got a lot of their people kind of turning on them, like your Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, all the podcast bros, they're like, they believe this Epstein crap. That's what they believed. They believed that Trump was going to take down this criminal cabal of evil Democrats that were on this island, molesting children and raping children, for lack of a more robust term, but that's what they were doing. And when you tell people this and you sell them on this lie, and your whole posture to get back into the White House is you were going to expose these Epstein files, yeah, you're going to have some ardent supporters that are still going to believe you there because, you're Trump and you're a cult of personality, you're a cult leader. They're going to believe you. But on the other side of this, you're going to have people that are going to be like, well, wait a minute, and that's where your Marjorie Taylor Greens, your Candace Owens come in, your Nick Fuenteses, and all those people that are like starting to doubt. And that's why there's a crack in the seam. And this is not good for Trump. They're already trying to manufacture the midterms, say, oh, there's going to be Republican or Democratic interference because they're going to lose. If everything goes, if you ask me today, and the thing with polling is it's always a day-to-day thing, right? Like if you ask me on the Thursday, I'd say, oh, maybe the Republicans would win. Or if you ask me on a Wednesday, maybe the Democrats are going to win. For the last 2 months, I've been consistent on the Democrats taking back Congress. It's almost a fact. Barring any fuckery, that's going to happen. And there's actually a pretty good chance that we could take the Senate back too, if the Democrats can, because they have just been messing up so much and so epically, and people have been married to these MAGA world stories for so long. People thought their groceries were going to be cheaper. They thought, Trump was a peace president. Trump lobbied around the world saying that he deserves Nobel Peace Prize. The leader in Venezuela, Maria, what's her last? I'm blanking on her name. Maria. I'm blanking on her name. I don't want to butcher it, but she flew to the States and gave Trump her Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Committee is not recognizing Trump as a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Trump should have known better, though, Chris. Like,
right.
Whatever you want to say about Donald Trump, he is recognized as a WWE Hall of Famer. And as a WWE Hall of Famer, he should have known, when Andre the Giant won the world title and gave it to Ted DiBiase, they ain't let that stand, cuz he should have known it wasn't going to transfer like that with the Nobel Peace Prize, brother.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's something that, if a WWE fan would have known, especially a fan in 1987, 88,
Right. Maria Corina Machado.
Okay. Yeah, Maria. I knew it was a rhyming kind of name. Maria Corina Machado. And she flew to the States, gave her her Nobel Peace Prize. Trump posture like, well, she gave it to me because she said I deserved it. I didn't ask for it. And the whole time there's videotape evidence of him saying, I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. I deserve it more than Obama got. It always ties back to what Obama got and what you didn't get, because Obama is a point of contention. And there's always this thing anytime, and this is a historical thing we talk about in the sociology, psychology, any of the social sciences. It's called, the term is called white rage as backlash. So what that means is anytime the country experiences like an abundance of success for Black people, what's going to follow behind it is white rage. That's gonna, like, you get a Black president. Of course, after that we get Trump. That's our punishment for that. You get the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Of course, they spend the next couple decades trying to gut it, and they gut it to where it is today, which is not what it was when it was signed in 1964. It's just a common thing and part of the struggle of being Black, not just Black, but mostly Black. Being Latino is not the same as being Black, because with the Latino race, you could be you could be various different races in the culture. You could be a Black Cuban, a white Cuban, all this other stuff. But Black people are, strictly people with African ancestry, right? And anytime we experience any kind of success, the backlash is gonna be close behind. So if Kamala Harris won, we would have gotten some of this backlash as well. So just know that this is history doesn't repeat, it rhymes.
So you're saying if Kamala had won, we would get President Bobert next then?
I don't know. I don't know if we go that far, because Republicans still need white men in charge.
Okay.
Especially of the country. That's why I thought it was funny, and I might have even said it on one of our shows, when people like Tim Scott and Byron Donalds were positioning themselves as the vice presidential, not as Trump's VP pick. That was never gonna happen. Nikki Haley, that's nice wishful thinking, but you're not the right gender, you're not the right race. They want a white guy, and they would, and the fact that all Tim Scott did, all Byron Donalds did, to a lesser extent Nikki Haley, they all kissed Trump's ass right before the election. JD Vance said this guy was Hitler. He compared him to Hitler before he got the nominee. He went on MSNBC and did this whole thing where he was just dissing Trump and talking about how horrible of a person he is and all this other stuff. And then when he saw that the race for the Ohio Senate was tightening up, he changed his tune and started kissing Trump's ass. And he ended up barely winning in Ohio. And the reason why he was picked as Trump's VP pick was because Doofus Jr. and Doofus Jr.'s little brother wanted to have JD Vance be the vice presidential pick, So, and the thing is, and if you're Black and if you're Byron Donalds and Tim Scott, you can't even loudly say it's because of my race, because you're a Republican, and that's the cross you got to bear.
I mean, and to be fair, we all know if Trump was to have a Black man as his VP, it would have been Herschel Walker on these streets, cuz.
Right. Yeah. It would have been somebody with kind of some kind of celebrity cachet behind their name.
Tyrus.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyrus is too fat and ugly.
Damn.
For Trump to want him. Not necessarily what I think, but this is how Trump judges people. Trump is definitely fatter than Tyrus, I would say. But
yes.
Except
Trump.
had a problem with Tyrus.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Even though
It's
Tyrus is more athletic.
yeah, it's the same thing with yeah, you're right about that too, right? But it's the same thing with Hitler, right? Hitler
Mm,
thought the only good people were Aryan,
Mhm.
blonde hair, blue-eyed folks. Hitler didn't have blonde hair or blue eyes,
No.
It's for the
right.
cult leader, the rules do not apply to the
Mhm.
cult leader. They
Right.
apply for everybody else.
Right.
That's cult dynamics 101. That's why I used to love that straight edge society stuff CM Punk used to do in WWE, because when he was the leader of that group, he was the only one that they had to shave their heads.
Right.
Right.
He didn't have to do that, and that's a
Hmm.
real cult thing. This
Hmm.
goes back to the whole Jim Jones thing.
And then he felt ashamed when he did get his head shaved.
Yeah. He felt less than,
Hmm.
because he was brought down to the level of his minions.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're not going to talk too much about that because for those that are keen watchers of the Nefarious Media Network, Ray recently lost a hair versus hair match. So stay strong, brother. Stay strong, brother.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's hard talking about the situation, but we'll try to.
Well, what do you think, Ray? Like you hadn't chimed in on this, man. Like from the State of the Union to this whole dog and pony show with the Epstein hearings to, hey, we at war now, y'all. What have you made of the past few weeks in politics, brother?
Well, I would say it surprised me, but I don't feel like lying today. It really don't surprise me. Nothing surprised me with this administration anymore.
Mhm.
I do feel as though, well, I'll do say this. I think, and I kind of put it in a banner. I think, is this man willing to do anything and everything to distract? Because like you said,
Yes.
that's your
The
answer.
answer is
Yeah.
yes, Ray.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because like you said, brother Chris, this man is going against everything that he wanted. The only things that he's not going against are the things that are pretty much bad for the country, like him,
Right. Yeah.
like the mass deportations, whether they're legally here or whether they're documented or undocumented. That's the only thing that he's really kind of hung his hat on, that he's actually been truthful about. Everything else, like you said, from the affordability stuff to being a man of peace, claiming that he ended 7 wars in his first 100 days, all these claims, but yet you're bombing Iran. And I'm surprised that this didn't come out sooner when they did bomb the nuclear facilities in Iran a few months ago. I'm surprised that we didn't get to this place sooner. But it's just crazy the lengths that this man would go, especially after you were the one that said you would release the files, and then you said it was a hoax, but then you said, oh, it's only Democrats in it. But then you had people release half of the files, and your name is littered 38,000 times throughout only half of the files that we looked at so far. And now, like, you redact some things, but you don't redact the actual important things, like the survivors' names that you try and set up. It's crazy. It's crazy the lengths that this man would go to cover up something that's like, it's pretty much the most open secret in the world right now. And it's like, you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off. I'm just curious on how, and I'll bring this back to you, Professor. We all feel, I believe we're all in agreement that if there are free and fair elections, and I think we brought this up during a previous episode of either the Parley or sometime on Nefarious, if there are free and fair elections, that
things are going to swing. There's going to be a blue wave, not just in the House, but I believe in the Senate as well. At this moment, and I think I asked you back then, at this moment, do you feel that as though there will be free and fair, at least to a certain extent, free and fair elections in order to dictate that swing?
I think that it will be. I mean, here's the thing. It's Trump world. These people are... The reason why I complained so much during 2024 is because Kamala Harris should have won by a landslide. Because my thing was always Kamala Harris could, if she doesn't win by a landslide, it's gonna be easy to steal. So let's just say you say you're one of the people, and I'm one of these people that thinks Kamala Harris got fucked over. Elon Musk did some stuff and all that. The fact is, half the country still voted for Donald Trump. Not half the country, but more people voted. Like 77 million people voted for this guy. And what we're going to have to worry about in 2026 is the same thing we always have to worry about, is just turnout, enthusiasm to a lesser extent. You know, you do need people enthusiastic and wanting to vote for people, and people kind of understanding their areas and how Democrats in their areas vote. You know, you can't watch a podcast, even if it's a podcast that you like, and say, "Oh, this is how this person should won." Because I'm seeing a lot of this from Democrats, where Zoran Mondani has such a favorable rating, you know, because of his mayor. People love him across the country. That's good for him, and I'm glad people like him, and I'm glad people like his policies and all that stuff. But what Mondani did was he learned the language of his constituents in New York City. That's what he did. Everybody else is going to have to do this. Like the people that are saying Chuck Schumer and what's his name, Hakeem Jeffries should retire. More so Chuck Schumer.
I was say Hakeem just got there, cuz.
Is fuck. Well, but people don't like him because of the AIPAC money he's allegedly taken and all this other stuff. The problem with the people who have a problem with Hakeem Jeffries won his seat by it was a lot, like 75%. I think his approval rating right now is 69%. He's popular in Brooklyn, New York. That's the thing. If you've got a problem with the way Hakeem Jeffries is doing things, you need to be telling the people of New York, of Brooklyn, hey, pick somebody that's more progressive. Because if he's got that seat, he's popular with the people in his area, you know, in his district. That's a fact. That's not me making up shit. That's not me being a Democratic shill. It's just like we have to all understand this thing about Democrats. We are not Republicans. We cannot all get behind the election was stolen narrative and everybody in the country is going to vote for our candidate. For Democrats, we all have to appeal to the people in our region. That's the simple fact of the matter. You could watch the I've Had It ladies all day long. You could watch Brian Tyler Cohen, all these people, and they're going to tell you one thing. David Pakman's going to say one thing. Brian Tyler Cohen's going to say another thing. Fair and Balance is going to say something else. Benjamin Dixon's going to say something else. Roland Martin's going to say something else. You have to know what your district is is and who's in your district. So that's the long answer, Ray. But the bottom line is we will win, but just also understand there is not one universal word or phrase or magic word that's just going to work for every single Democrat.
Right.
Understand, we are a political party that houses AOC and Maxine Waters on this side,
Mhm.
and then Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin and John Fetterman on that side. And somewhere in the middle of that is everybody else.
Right.
In Trump world, it's just MAGA,
It's
MAGA.
all,
Yeah, it's MAGA. It's MAGA heavy fat or MAGA just regular fat. That's how it is with MAGA. There's no differentiating that. So Democrats, we just got to understand. You can complain about Hakeem Jeffries all you want, but you know that's those complaints got to go to his constituents, not
Right.
him, because he's got no incentive to change anything he's doing.
No.
Right.
And also, it's not productive right now. Like,
Right, yeah.
let's get the bad people out first, and then you can have intramural time.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead, Ray.
Well, the thing I wanted to ask about is, I know, like, so piggybacking off of what you just said. So if we get through that to that blue wave, right?
Mhm.
You mentioned, yes, all right, it's going to be individual. It's going to be folks with individual ideals that relate to their specific districts and stuff that are going to be able to win it. It's not going to be like a general catch-all, right? But
Right, yeah.
you've also mentioned on these here airwaves that regardless of what your ideologies are within the Democratic Party, you have to be a fighter. And
Right.
with the fighters that we have, like, we know Jeffries really ain't a fighter like that. We know
Right.
Schumer ain't a fighter like that. But we know that the fighters that we do have, they don't. You mentioned it with Tim Scott and you mentioned it with Byron Donalds. They don't have the right skin tone. And so
Right.
now it seems like they're ruffling the feathers, i.e., one Jasmine Crockett who's looking for a Senate seat, Representative Jasmine Crockett, or like an Ilhan Omar, or like the squad, like you mentioned with AOC. And so what do we have to do to actually put these fighters to the forefront once we do get that blue wave going and we do get the bad people out?
Right, yeah.
What do we do so that we can keep the bad people out?
So I think you did. If there was a through line with Democrats, it's just you got to be a fighter.
Right.
And the one thing that in the special elections of 2025, the one thing that was kind of proven is that that MAGA message did not work, because the lady that was running for governor, and the Jamaican lady or some island lady, I forget, she was running in Virginia against.
I am speaking.
Yeah.
Virginia's Earl Seals.
Winston
Earl
Sears.
Seals. Yeah, Winston Seals. Yeah. And then who was the woman?
Abigail Spanberger.
Spanberger, yeah.
Spanberger.
Like, Spanberger didn't fall for the okie doke. She didn't address any of that trans crap that Spanberger was trying to, or that she was trying to get her to address. She stayed on message, and that was kind of the main things to stay on message. I remember I talked to so many people from New York, New Jersey, because that's where a lot of my people live, is in that area. People in New Jersey thought that Mikey Sherrill was gonna lose, and they were afraid, and like, this woman is not campaigning right. I always thought, I was like, Mikey Sherrill could run against a cup of decaf coffee and she's in or she could be a if the Democrat was a cup of decaf coffee, they'd beat whoever the Republican was, is what I meant to say.
Right.
And that was just it, but you just got to stay on message and stay on brand. Chuck Schumer is a corporate Dem. He's going to do whatever corporate Dems want him to do. Hakeem Jeffries is trying to be the first Black Speaker of the House. And with that, he doesn't want to step on any toes. Now you can judge that however you want to judge it. I for the most part, I agree with the sentiment that he needs to be more of a fighter. But I do think Hakeem Jeffries is one of those people that will move in the direction that his constituents will tell him to move in. He's not going to move in the direction that the country tells him to move in, right? As long as those people in Brooklyn are happy with him, he's going to move in that direction. Really that simple. So you can get mad at him all you want. The problem is the people that are voting for him. How do they feel about him? And if they've made up their mind that this is what they're gonna put up with, and that's it. Like, look, I did not like Joe Manchin. At all. He was not, when he was in Congress, he was not my favorite member in Congress. I probably hated him more than I did a lot of Republicans that were in Congress. But he was the best West Virginia had to offer. And not Congress, Senate. Sorry about that. He was the best West Virginia had to offer. What's the comment say?
Is from our boy upper mid card Jay Lacey. Serious question: are we living in the worst timeline?
No. So that's another thing too, and Nate's been around me when I've said it could always get worse. it could always get worse. Don't ever think this is the worst it could get. When Trump ran the first time, I was like, don't think that's the worst. It can always get worse, man. There's someone right now that's looking at Trump and they're like thinking, hold my beer. You're not racist and sexist enough.
Right.
I.e.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, I was about to say, Nick Fuentes is that. That's what Nick, and the thing with Nick Fuentes is he understands that some of the culture war stuff, how stupid it is. He's young, but he's actually kind of, I'm not gonna say he's smart because he's not, but he's cunning. Like he understands, like, okay, you motherfuckers, you dumbasses like Grandma Groiper, Megyn Kelly, and all you other people, you are getting mad at Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. And your answer to Bad Bunny is to have an aging, old, balding, low energy Kid Rock to perform, and not only that, you're acting like it was a good performance. And someone like Nick Fuentes, who's actually probably worse than all of these people, he's looking at that and he's like, you know what? I can spread this racist message better than Donald Trump without trying to lie and pretend that Kid Rock was better than Bad Bunny,
Right.
Like that's kind of the thing. And Nick Fuentes didn't think that Charlie Kirk was racist enough or radical enough, Right, yeah. And I mean, I think Charlie Kirk, he just comes from a family full of actors, his wife was kind of like that. He was kind of like that. Like I've met Charlie Kirk several times in person when he was alive. The first time I met him was at Politicon back in 2016. I don't even know if he was in his 20s yet. I think he was probably still a teenager when I met him. And they were grooming him for the part he would ultimately get, what ultimately led to his demise. Yeah, so it could always get worse, Jay Lacey.
Yes.
So don't ever get comfortable with how bad things are.
If anything, Chris and I have had this conversation many times, Ray. Like the saving grace of the Trump administration is that Donald Trump is not as smart as he thinks he is, and he's not as disciplined as he would. Like if this brother had 10% more discipline and decorum, like as bad as it is now, it would be a whole hell of a lot worse for a lot of people, man.
And I think we mentioned it as well. If he had somebody who was kind of as determined as a Dick Cheney in his corner, but he's just got a bunch of clowns in his corner.
Yeah, the problem with Trump is the people. He's got smart people, and the smart people around Trump don't bring him up to their level. They go down to his level.
So hold on, Chris. Let's break it down. Okay. So what you're saying is, instead of being like a LeBron James, right, who enhances his teammates and brings the whole team up, even though they're looking a little soft right now, Chris. What you're saying is Donald Trump is more like, and I'm sorry, Ray, Donald Trump is more like Jordan Poole, where everything around him sinks to Jordan Poole's level.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be something like that, because I'm writing this piece right now on Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is a smart man. He might be the only smartest. He's not dumb, but when you're in that atmosphere for a long time, you do catch those kind of fumes. Those kind of vapors are like what you're breathing in. I can't think of the technical term for it right now, but he is starting to believe his own hype. I don't even think before. I think it was just an act to kiss Trump's ass and the trail sniff and brown nose and all that. Somewhere along the way, he started believing that shit.
He worked himself into a shoot.
Right, yeah. And I think that's Lindsey Graham as well. I think a lot of them knew better, but when you've been into a part for such a long time, it's easy for that identity to kind of take over you. They say that's what happened with Heath Ledger when he played the Joker. I don't know if I believe that, but it's one of those kind of things where you've been method acting for so long that you just start becoming that person, Like I know the cast of Suicide Squad was getting tired of Jared Leto's bullshit.
Yes.
Because he was like doing like this crazy stuff to kind of immerse himself in that role. And that's Marco Rubio right now. Lindsey Graham also is they've just immersed themselves into that for such a long time. And the problem with other Republicans is there are some Republicans that are looking at it as a way out, that are looking at the Epstein files and are taking it seriously. But then there's some Republicans that are just not take it, that are just going to step down because they just don't want to face the wrath of their voters.
Yes.
And then there's some other people who just don't want to rock the boat and say anything and think that if they hide in the background, if they play dead long enough, the bank robber is going to leave and not shoot them again,
It's interesting, and we could kind of start to pivot towards our next topic, Chris, but I do find it interesting as we talk about the midterms where you've got almost some self-inflicted wounds to a certain extent on the Republican side of the aisle, because as you mentioned, a lot of people, instead of standing up to Jordan Poole in the Oval Office, are like, no, you got it, kid. I'm out. I'm off the team. And so it's almost like they are like if you had somebody who was an incumbent, Chris, you always talk about kind of these inherent advantages that an incumbent has. And now, even in a red district, I'm not saying that the Democrat would have the advantage, but it's less of an advantage for the Republican because you got somebody new now who's stepping into the shoes of this person that may have served 3, 4, 5 terms, however many terms it was. And so now it's like, oh yeah, I'm the new Republican that's gonna kiss Trump's ass. Don't worry about the old guy.
Yeah, exactly. There's always somebody willing to do that. That's what. It's funny that you mentioned that, Nate, because when Tim Scott, when Trump tweeted that tasteless picture of the Obamas as primates,
right?
A lot of the black Republicans got mad at him for doing that. They were like, okay, this is a bridge too far. Tim Scott said this is the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House, which is laughable, but yeah.
It's crazy that he had to say the most racist. Like, so what are the other
I
things,
know, like
Scott?
he's qualifying the racism he's seen out of the White House. But
like, damn, you ain't had to say it during Black History Month, Donald.
Yeah, but what was funny about that is there were some people like what's his name? I'm already blanking on this dude's name. But he was like, at first he was like, this is fake. That was his lie. He was like, oh, well, this is fake. This isn't real. This is something the Democrats made up. And then when he found out it wasn't fake, he started posturing, well, I saw this a while ago, and it wasn't that bad. Then it changed to, oh, this was funny. Oh, Tim Scott, you have no right demanding a apology out of Donald Trump. So that to piggyback off of your point, Nate, there are people that were willing to like to defend this. You know, there's always somebody there that's willing to be like, oh, I will sell my soul farther. You know. Nate, my cousin said that we need to check our the Substack chat. I don't know if we do or not.
Okay.
Just letting you know. But anyway,
shout out to the Substack chat. We are on Substack for the first time, I believe. Officially.
Yeah, first time me officially official. I don't know if anyone's there or not.
But as you mentioned, Doc, like there are always going to be Republicans, while Ray checks the chat out, who want to be subservient to Donald Trump. There will always be an opportunity for beef when it comes to 150 Cent. Curtis and Tip. That's what we're doing in 2026, Chris. T.I. and 50 Cent. Come on, man.
Curtis with a C, not a K.
Curtis with a C, not with a K.
Yeah.
So apparently we've got beef now between T.I. and 50 Cent. T.I. has released a diss track. Like I thought we was taking a moratorium on diss tracks for a while after Aubrey and Kendrick. But I guess we back on these streets, Chris. Hip hop is a sport. And T.I. and 50 Cent are the newest members in the arena. And I guess from T.I.'s perspective, because some people were trying to say that he was going at 50 because of the Diddy documentary.
Right.
But from everything I've read, it seems more likely that the beef started because 50 Cent brought up T.I.'s wife, Tiny. In some public statements. So what do you make of T.I. and 50 Cent in 2026, cuz?
It's really hard to kind of, wrap my head around this one because it wasn't something that I saw coming. But I do think from what I've seen so far, and if we dissect this again on this episode or maybe a future episode, I do think T.I.'s been coming out a little bit better. I never thought 50 Cent was a good battle rapper. Let me explain this.
Okay, explain.
When 50 was going at Ja Rule, I don't think 50 Cent really had better raps than Ja Rule. I think Ja Rule was an easy person to kind of like target and pick on. They had their own little personal booth. You snatch my chain, shot, all this bullshit. But I thought that the actual war of words was never like the greatest, like Wanksta is a decent song, it's like Clap Back was a okay song too, but I don't think it was like a situation where I was ever looking at 50 Cent and was like, oh, 50 Cent got him. The 50 Cent got him moment was just really that it was all of Aftermath, all of Shady Aftermath.
That's what it was. Yep.
Piling on Ja Rule. And
yeah, because M and Busta had better verses on that track, especially Busta's like, hey yo Jeffrey, what the fuck you involving me for?
Like it was the Hail Mary beat, that they were sampling.
I had to go listen to that again after the show, Chris. I remember when that joint dropped and everybody was like, oh snap, like it's over. And it wasn't really over because of anything 50 said on the record. It was M and Busta in particular. It's like, yeah, it's over, cuz.
Right, yeah. And T.I., you can say what you want to say about him, but as far as rapping and spitting, he's a good rapper. He's good at that. He's a good
objectively
wordsmith.
Good, not like Macklemore Ray.
Right. Yes.
Here we go.
I believe Macklemore.
You're gonna leave Macklemore alone,
please.
Yeah.
Please, Doc. Please.
But
already dead.
but what's his name is a good rapper, and I don't know if 50 Cent necessarily wants those problems.
Like 50 is 50's a decent rapper, but I think 50's most notable role over the past 10, 15 years has been professional troll.
Right, yeah.
Like, whether it's, getting in it with Kanye, getting into it with some other folks, the Diddy documentary. And like obviously ain't nobody on this show a fan of Diddy, but like there was it's weird to say, Chris, because even with that documentary, I watched it. I feel like, yes, you want to expose this stuff, but it's like 50 was almost happy to do it. Whereas if I did that documentary, I think I'd have been more like, this is bullshit what this man did. Like, I would be more detached or not detached, but more angry about it, coming from like a place of righteous indignation and wrath. Whereas 50, I think 50, like, yes, he wanted to tell a story, but also, I got you, Diddy.
You know what I compare it to? It's when W. Kamau Bell put out the Bill Cosby documentary and when 50 Cent put out this documentary. W. Kamau Bell wasn't looking happy that he had to make that documentary about Bill Cosby and the women, all that stuff. He was just like, I believe this. He did say good stuff about Bill Cosby while he was making it, but he also had to point out the fact that he believed that this guy drugged all these women and did this stuff. 50 Cent, this documentary looked like it was just more of a let's pile on Diddy as much as we can because Diddy's a piece of shit. When I agree with that, by the way, but it's like
undisputable.
But it wasn't done out of any kind of like justice for these women kind of posture. That part. It was more done for let's laugh at Diddy while he's down and troll, and that was it, and then it's just, and that's kind of like his posture with everybody, it's one of those things where now he's 50 and doing this, it's not, he's not like a kid anymore. He's in his 50s and he's still holding on to these rap beefs. His rap hasn't matured since in the club days and the Wanksta days and all that shit, it's still kind of
Those are some good
like,
days. Those were good
yeah,
days,
yeah,
Chris.
and those were good days. Even the Massacre had its moments. It's not my favorite album, but it was okay. And Curtis was okay too, but I just don't know if like as I said, I don't think 50 Cent is a battle rapper. I think 50's a bully. I don't know if he's a battle rapper. Whereas Ti is a battle rapper.
And T.I. is to me like King is one of my favorite rap albums of all time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like T.I. is somebody who, you can kind of dispute some of the things in his personal life, the reality show, some of the weird kind of things he said about his daughters, a few years ago. But
yeah.
I feel like bar for bar, like T.I. got him, Ray. And it's like, regardless of put the Diddy thing aside. But it's like, if you talk about my wife, like, we beefing. And so as much as I'm like, both of y'all too damn grown for this. If I had to pick a side, if I were forced to pick a camp to reside in, Ray Williams, it would be team T.I.
Yeah, and I would agree because, like you guys mentioned, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson revels in being a troll. He revels in going after somebody and being petty. Not only with this documentary, we all know the history he's had with Rick Ross, and we all know the history he had. I think he had a falling out relationship with Floyd Mayweather. This brother, he just revels in getting his get back, and like you said, Nate, he didn't come with the documentary. He didn't come from a side of I'm going to be objective, still going to tell this story, and I want the survivors to have justice. It was kind of like I told you he was dirty, y'all. I told y'all, didn't you know? And then it's like for him to go out of his way and like pay the documentarians who were supposed to be documenting on Diddy's side, and to get that information and be like, I'll pay the filmographer if he ain't gonna pay him, I'll pay him. Like, just underhanded, and just like he knew what he was doing. He wasn't doing this to kind of be not righteous, but kind of be in the right and to assist with the survivors and to assist with Cassie. He was only doing this out of his own personal gain, and he just seems slimy to me, and it kind of makes me wonder, is like, what if he gets caught up with something out of his closet, and like a skeleton falls out of his closet? Will he want somebody like a T.I.?
And that was the thing too. T.I. kind of in one of his disses made fun of him for that. I think he's about burning down one of his baby mama's houses or some shit like that in one of the raps I was listening to. So they were taking it, it was going pretty. I mean, rap is probably not gonna be like, if you're gonna be throwing those kind of stones, you gotta have a pretty squeaky clean background to get away with it. It'd be like Kobe Bryant and Cuba Gooding Jr. Getting into a beef. It's like they both of them have been accused of the same thing, but they weren't like convicted of it.
Right.
So if one of them throws the stones, the other one's gonna be like, well, wait a second, you were convicted.
Hold on now.
Yeah, one of those.
I thought we agreed to Marcus of Queensberry rap beef rules. We weren't gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
It'd be like
we had a gentleman's agreement, Kobe.
Yeah, Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. Wait a minute, you did.
I don't know why I made Cuba Gooding Jr. like some old British man.
Right, yeah.
Lord Bryant, we had an agreement.
Yeah, and then we've seen like we mentioned 50 with Ja Rule. We've seen T.I. in pretty much in a rapper's career too with Lil Flip, if anybody remembers.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Because that one was crazy too. Because I don't even know what because the Lil Flip rapper, because it was about T.I. was calling himself King of the South, and
Right.
Lil Flip got offended. He was like, they were fighting over the King of the South label. And then Lil Flip was like, Scarface is the real King of the South, and Scarface was like, yeah, I never said I was the king of anything. I mean, the South is not the South is, there's not a monarchy in the South.
Scarface said, if you get jammed up, don't mention my name.
Right? Yeah. It was one of those things, and yeah, Flip never really came.
Damn,
back
man, Flip had a couple hits though.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, he
Game
had some
Over
hits.
joint,
He had some
This is the way we ball joint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it was
different
all
era,
over
right?
once he started beefing with
Yeah.
Tip.
Well, and here's the other thing about T.I. T.I., you ain't slick. You ain't slick. Because we know part of this reason that you've engaged in this beef with Mr. Jackson is because you got to stand up for your wife. We all understand that. We all acknowledge that and agree with that sentiment. But also, you got a new record out, homie.
Yeah.
You trying to get these spins, these streams, these downloads. So it's a tale as old as time, Chris. If I need something to goose up the sales, start a beef.
Right. Yeah. And I honestly don't know why Tiny's always kind of the victim of all these little things. I mean, I think a lot of it is a lot of these girls got a crush on T.I. and think that Tiny is just this ugly wildebeest kind of person, and would think that T.I. belongs with them instead of her. I mean, Tiny, I know she's had like the work done to her, but I mean, she's not that horrible to me. Like the way people be going in on her, it's just like
horrible.
Yeah, like I mean, she's not like I wouldn't say she's horrible at all, in my opinion. She's just, I don't think she's like, she's not going to be at the top of my list, but a lot of people aren't at the top of my list. Like I don't feel the need to jab at her extra hard is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
and like they've had a long relationship. They got a family together. They got a life together, like through all the ups and downs. And so it's like he gonna ride for her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Chris, Tiny, former member of Escape. All she's saying to you, Chris, is what I need from you is understanding, brother. How can we communicate?
Yeah.
That's a little before your time, Ray.
Yeah.
Just a little. I that's all. I got a little bit of like Escape and changing faces, but I was like, I didn't really get into, like, of course, SWV, but yeah, I couldn't catch Escape right when they were hot.
Yeah. My favorite song with Escape is the one they got with Moni Love on the Sunset Park soundtrack where they sample Liberian Girl.
Okay.
Keep on, keeping on. Because you can't help me change no more. I can't sing the song right, but it's a good song. It's a tight song.
They have some good songs, man. Just Kicking It, that was a good one.
Yeah, Just Kicking It was the shit.
He said, kick off your shoes and relax your feet, Ray. Party on down to the Escape beat.
Yeah.
I remember bits and pieces of that one, bro.
Yeah. That was they had their stuff and they had their moments and all that. And
that was the era where all the girl groups had to look like thugs, for like a better word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That because that was the thing too, is like, because when they first start dressing sexy, people were like surprised at it, because they were always dressing kind of like in the thuggish gear, But yeah, and like you said, Nate, Tiny and T.I. have been together for a little while. I think Tiny
Yeah.
was with him before he really caught fire,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And the other reason you don't want to start a beef with T.I. Ray Williams, and I'm making general statements here. I don't really know these people, but T.I. kids is crazy.
No.
yeah.
T.I.'s kids is crazy. They might rap. They might have a diss track for you. They might roll up and meet you at the club. Like I'd stay away from T.I.'s kids.
Yeah, and I know the son was trying to start beef with Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, brother, do you really want them?
Is that Messiah?
I think so.
Yeah, you don't want no beef with a brother named Messiah. Like that brother came out the womb with issues,
right?
Complex issues.
Complex, yeah. Well, and like you said, Nate, I think this brother he trying to get them spins because we all know that doggone stand-up comedy career didn't work out.
No, man, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was hilarious. Okay. Before we kind of end this topic, one of the funniest beefs, like this beef is trifling with T.I. and 50. But like I think it was maybe 3 years ago, like you said, Ray, when T.I. was embarking on his stand-up comedy career, he got into a beef with Godfrey.
Oh, yeah.
He got into a beef with Godfrey because Godfrey thought he didn't respect the game in terms of comedy. And T.I. went on Godfrey's show and they squashed it, Chris. But T.I. just trying to expand his horizons. Not only is he an actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and other films, not only is he this award-winning musical artist, Chris, but he's also got a funny joke or two.
Yeah, I know. Like, I love Godfrey. Godfrey is probably one of my favorite comedians. I'd love to meet him one day. I know I haven't met him yet, but I mean, you don't own comedy, dude. If the dude wants to do, if you wanted to rap,
he's the king of the South of comedy, Ray.
Yeah, T.I. doesn't own rap. You can fucking do an album if you want to do it. Shit, yeah. Like I do kind of this kind of like gatekeeping thing from these entertainers, kind of like always like you're getting mad at the wrong people. Like if they're letting T.I. headline a comedy show, that's not T.I.'s fault. That's the promoter. You tell the promoter, like, look, I'm the comedian on this thing. I need to be the guy in charge, It's like you're getting mad at this guy for something that, he's got no control over, But I saw that episode and I was glad they were able to squash it.
Yeah.
And I don't think T.I. wants to be beefing with a comedian because I mean I don't think rappers beefing with comedians ever ends well for the rapper. But
the comedians got too much ammo.
Yeah, they get paid to they get paid to be funny and get paid to be funny on the spot,
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. Like even like me, I consider myself intellectual, but if someone is funny and quick-witted and shit, that's not something that I am, Like I'm not gonna be trying to like get into roast battles with Godfrey or anybody that does it for a living,
Cat Williams.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cat Williams. Yeah, I stay in my lane,
Listen, Professor. 2026, all lies will be exposed again.
Right, yeah.
Any final thoughts on this beef, Ray, before we move on?
Like I put in the banner, it's like we're going back to 2003. It's like, come on, that we don't.
That's not the worst idea of all right now, Ray. We could all just go back to 2003.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Even though I was broke back then and just graduating from high school, but yeah, it's simpler times before the man from
that was when you was in your Anthony Hamilton phase, just walking to the bus stop, coming from where I'm from.
Pretty much. Before the man from Apprentice started to get into politics, it was like, what is this,
listening
man?
to Aloe Black on the number 7 train. Just, I need a dollar. That's what I need.
Yeah. That was that song was the theme song to my favorite show on HBO at the time, How to Make It in America.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Black's had an interesting career. Like he always like pops up and like has a song that's all like everywhere for like a year and then disappears for like 2 or 3 years. And then,
right?
Yeah.
He's kind of like Maxwell in that way. Maxwell do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell everybody.
Yeah,
that's my
yeah. Like, and then he disappeared for 2 years after that. And the next time you seen him, he was singing a song for Eminem's 50th anniversary. I'm like, how did that happen?
Right, yeah.
Singing the Candy Man. Like, how did that happen?
Right.
Yeah, shout out to Aloe Black. I think he also had a song for the NFL. Like one of the it was either Thursday Night Football was using this song.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Like, okay, he stayed making money. Good for you, Aloe Black.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ray through all those times he had to transfer with the bus pass and get to work down by the docks.
Yeah, he got this song on this first album. It talks about his mama, and it's like, man, that's on my Mother's Day playlist, brother. Like, I had to put that on there. But yeah, as far as this beef, man, it's like, all right, does anybody under the age of 35 really care?
Right, yeah.
It's like, I don't think anybody who's not a millennial really cares about this beef.
It's like golf, right? You know, they got the regular PGA.
Yeah.
Then they got the senior PGA tour, right? It's like the senior rap circuit.
So this is Jack Nicklaus and Ernie
Jack
L.
Nicklaus versus Arnold Palmer.
Like,
you might be the Golden Bear, Jack, but do you have a delicious drink named after you?
Half and half anyway. I won't share.
Yeah.
That'd be the name of Arnold Palmer's diss track, Half and Half.
Right.
Featuring Tiger Woods. Like, damn, he got Tiger on the track.
Well, see now, man, and now I'm trying to refuse to use AI for anything other than work, but now
Yeah.
I think AI froze Ray.
Ray.
am I
Are you there? There you go.
Can y'all hear me?
That's crazy. Okay.
I hear you. I hear
Ain't
you.
say nothing about no AI. Don't even talk about Allen Iverson, because as soon as you said I don't use AI for anything but work, it froze your ass, cuz. AI was like, keep on talking, Ray. Keep talking.
Maybe that's the Google Gemini and the Chat GPT trying to get me on. But I was saying I would use that. I would use AI to be like, I need a diss track with Arnold Palmer called Half and Half with a feature from Tiger Woods. I need that AI.
That might actually be hot, man. It might actually be hot. What I see that was somebody did it again. Like we'll move from this topic after this, Ray. But talking about the program, I ain't gonna say the name because you ain't gonna get me. The program that artificially uses intelligence to generate these things.
Right.
They're doing all these songs now on YouTube that are artificially generated. They did I think I might have even posted it in our Nefarious Media group chat a few months back. But the one that has Frank Sinatra singing My Way, if it was a New Jack Swing.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It was like Frank Sinatra doing
that.
My Way, like if Bobby Brown did it. Like, I don't know why, but the computers was cooking on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that one. I saw them doing one of those songs as a gospel song. No, it wasn't Michael Jackson. It was a rap song. I'm blanking on it, but yeah, I've seen a bunch of those things. My wife is intrigued by that.
I refuse to give AI my ears.
No, the best AI videos. If you ever watch a Lakers game.
Mm-hmm.
A Lakers, it doesn't matter which, if it's a Lakers game they win or a Lakers game they lose. Type in AI Luka Doncic, like AI Luka or AI LeBron, and they're always saying like some funny, like crazy shit. The AI Steph Curry cracks me up too. Like AI Luka is like talking about how he stopped eating cheeseburgers and lost weight.
I'm not fed no more. Ray.
Yeah. It's the funniest thing ever.
AI Luke out here threatening Ray Williams.
Right.
Ray, watch your mouth when you talk about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Because if you do, they will come after you, and it will be like me playing basketball, no defense.
And if it's and if the Lakers win, he's like, my glorious king LeBron James. And then he's like complimenting them. And if they lose, he'll be saying shit like, LeBron James should have retired years ago. This is my team now. I own LA. I own the Lakers. The Clippers need to get out of the city because I own them. If the Clippers lose, he starts dissing the Clippers. It's like, I own these bums. They have no business in my city, Los Angeles. It's so funny, man.
I am like T.I. He is the king of the South. I am the king of LA. By LA, I mean Latvia.
Yeah. If I knew how to do that, I'd probably be doing a lot more of those AI.
And Chris, just so you know, we're not gonna do it tonight, but we're gonna put a pin in the Lakers talk because I got thoughts on your team, man, and what they may end up being next year.
Oh yeah.
But you know what, Chris? Sometimes whether you're watching the Lakers game or whether you're watching the news and the world seems kind of crazy, you know, you might be sitting in your room, Ray, like Uncle Curtis, just mama, what's going on? But when it gets like that, Ray, I feel it's best to take some time to yourself to reflect and think about what's going on in the world. And when I do, there's a pond by the house, Ray, and I go walk by that pond and just ponder on some things, think about life. And this is a segment of the show that we call Feeding Ducks on the Pond. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the parlay, each and every episode, we end things off by feeding the ducks on the pond. This is where all of the members of the panel bring a question to the table. It could be fun, could be silly, could be serious. As Ray brings in the sensual ducks on the pond music. It could be anything, but we have to go around the horn and answer the question. Oh, you got duck sound effects now too. You showing off the Substack people.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right, Ray. So since you want to show off and everything, well, look. And like your mom, I'm sure your mom told you many times when you be cutting up, go ahead and dance for everybody then since you want to show off. You can have the first question, sir.
Oh my goodness. Somebody put me on front street. See, my fingers was doing the talking, not my mouth.
Oh, speaking of which, did we ever see any other questions from the Substack chat, Ray?
All right. So I'm looking on there now. I think it might only show me what came before I pulled up the live chat. So I just see people joining, but we do have a healthy amount of people who are watching on Substack. It looks like about 25 people are watching on Substack. So
appreciate y'all.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you. Thank you.
This will not be the last time you see nefarious media here on Substack.
Yeah, it won't be.
Yeah. As long as we don't say nothing reckless about AI.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well, I guess I'll go with my old faithful. What is objectively good? So I got three more. I got three more artists / rappers, and I want you to tell me if you feel that they are objectively good. So I think I wrote down their names. I'm trying to think of at least a couple that I was thinking of before. So, okay. I guess we could go with this one because I was watching a video of his, and speaking of watching my mouth about what I say about things and people, from what I've heard, we got to watch our mouths with what we said about this particular person, MC Hammer.
Okay.
Okay.
Was he objectively a good rapper?
Okay.
I could take this one first.
Take it, Chris.
I'll just throw out just this one out there.
Yeah. Nah, he's not objectively good. He's got catchy songs, but it's not, that's no. I mean, that's just no. He's fine, I like if you play Pumps in a Bump at a party, I'll be dancing, If you play Turn This Mother Out, I'm gonna get hype, but. MC Hammer is an entertainer. He's a quality entertainer, not a rapper kind of person, in my opinion. And I think my tablet's gonna die, so I gotta get my wife to give me my charger.
Okay. So Chris says MC Hammer objectively not a good rapper. And I just want to let the audience know, full disclosure, the only reason Ray is asking questions along this line is so that ultimately one day he can redeem himself for saying Macklemore is one of the best rappers dead or alive.
Can you grab my tablet charger?
Which is not a thing that anybody can agree to. Not even Macklemore himself would say that, right?
I never said that. I just like him. Man
said Ben Macklemore, whatever his last name, Ben Macklemore Macklemorson is the greatest rapper dead or alive. That's what Ray Williams has said on these very network.
No, I just said at the time when they came out, I preferred the albums over another popular rapper's album. That's all.
Okay. You gotta speak your truth, Ray. But I'm glad you said that because you inadvertently walked into a rhetorical trap I set for you. Okay. Welcome to my parlor, said the fighter to the fly.
Well, you still ain't answered my question.
So the question is MC Hammer objectively a good rapper? And I will say yes for the time he existed in.
Okay.
Well, you have to look at when MC Hammer was out. Like MC Hammer, I would say anything prior to the Funky Headhunter is what I would consider like Hammer's peak and Hammer's era. So anything before the Funky Headhunter album, which is the one where, as Chris said, he did Pumps and the Bumps, and he tried to go gangster a little bit on the record. That was not objectively good rap. But I would say like the earlier stuff from Hammer, I would say for his era, he was objectively good. Now, in his era, there were also people like the Fat Boys. There were also people like there were also people that were not great listeners. And it just kind of shows you how the art form evolved over the years. But then the other thing Chris said that I think everybody can agree on when they go back and look at MC Hammer is he was objectively a good, some may even say great entertainer.
Yeah.
Particularly when you look at a hip hop performer and what hip hop was at that time, which is basically just dudes walking around on a stage, posing and being buff and grabbing their nuts. This man brought a whole dance aesthetic that you didn't really see unless you were talking about somebody like Kwame in A New Beginning. For the most part, the stage presence of a rapper was very stationary. You know what I mean? Like we just walk from one side of the stage to the other. We ain't doing a whole lot. Let's go home. Hammer brought the show to hip hop. And so, yeah, like Hammer, like Pump It Up, The News, what Chris say? Turn This Mother Out. Turn This Mother Out is a damn classic, Ray.
Yeah.
You said Hammer ain't hitting in New York? Well, I'm gonna turn this mother out. Turn this mother out. You can put that on right now. Put that on right now. I'm not even saying for millennials or Gen X or people of that era. Turn that on right now, and you're gonna have Gen Z and Gen Alpha out here moving. Because that song hit regardless of what generation you're from, right? Even something that is overplayed as You Can't Touch This. Like when it came out in the context of the time it was in, Ray, that changed the game in a lot of ways for hip hop. The other thing I will say, Ray, what MC Hammer may have lacked as a lyrical artist on the mic, he made up for by being a real gangster on these streets.
Yes, exactly.
Because people like to play Hammer soft because he made corporate music. He made family-friendly music. He made like general audience rap for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But Hammer was in them streets, cuz. So yeah, man, I would say again, is MC Hammer like one of the top 100 rappers of all time? No. But I would say for the era he existed in, I would say he's objectively good, right?
Yeah.
Ray, you asked the damn question as a ploy to try to boost up your Macklemore bona fides. What's your answer?
I would side on your side of the fence, Brother Nate. I think for the era that he was in, he was objectively good. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, especially with the lyricists that we have now. But even with some of the lyricists or some of the rappers that we have now, I could say he's like leagues better than like even what we had in like the 2010s with your mans who was doing Panda. Kind of and all
he got bras in Atlanta.
Yeah, but he was also out during like his era. He like, you can say the Fat Boys, but he also had like Rakim was in Hammer's era also, and LL Cool J was out.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah, Beastie Boys were out. He had some good, like, I think with Hammer and Coolio are kind of like neck and neck, you know. And I think Coolio was a better rapper than Hammer, but I think they were just way too commercial to be taken seriously as rappers, in my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
Like
and
commercial.
Because I think part of the thing with Hammer, and it hurt Hammer because he was like one of the first ones. And now in 2026, every rapper wants to be commercial. Like that's the goal. Yeah. Whereas back in the 90s and then like even a little bit before that, Chris, it was about how authentic can you be. Right. Even though some of them dudes that told them stories on the records wasn't really being authentic. That we came to find out later.
But I mean, like, so here's the thing, like, so you got rappers like Jay-Z and Nas who have plenty of like commercial deals. They're just not like really shilling the commercial. Like, I remember in the 90s, there was like you couldn't see a commercial without MC Hammer was selling Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was selling Taco Bell, British Knights, tennis shoes. He was selling.
Brother had a cartoon.
Everything. Yeah, yes. It was so bad that like In Living Color released that video with Tommy Davidson where it was too sold out to quit. And it was like talking about all the things he was just shilling, and it was just like, you don't see rappers do it to that extent, you know? Like you'll see like Travis Scott will have a McDonald's value meal, but that's the end of it, you know. It's like it's like introducing the Travis Scott meal at McDonald's. They might show Travis Scott on the commercial for a second, then again they might not, and that's the end of the fucking commercial. The MC Hammer though, it was another level. Same with Coolio in his day too. Those were other levels. I think now rappers are a lot more sly about that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not like these rappers today are any less focused on the money. Because like at the end of the day, you like it to be about the music, but it is a product that is sold by these corporations.
Like my dude Pusha T. He made the that McDonald's shit. Yeah. That's his lyrics and stuff.
No. It was the Arby's.
No, he made that one too. The McDonald's one is the one he made first.
Okay.
He made when he made the McDonald's one, that he said that they paid him a flat fee. They negotiated it wrong, and that McDonald's catchphrase has been their catchphrase for about 25 years now. Like, I don't know if you remember this, Nate, but back in the day, McDonald's used to fly through catchphrases. It wasn't like good time, great taste at McDonald's was their catchphrase. catchphrase in the 80s, and then the 90s came and it was like my McDonald's and all this other stuff.
What
and
you
then,
know about Mac tonight on these streets, Chris?
Yeah, Mac tonight, you know, but then but when it came to the when the 2000 hit, that I'm loving it has been their catchphrase, and it hasn't stopped being their catchphrase. No. It's still there. And Pusha T didn't get any money for that. He said when he negotiated the Arby's deal with the don't that we have the meat sing, he said he does get royalties every time that one plays. He says he gets good royalties for that one. He doesn't get it for the McDonald's commercial. Yeah.
Arby's is for the people.
Right, yeah.
I think like Hammer to me is like fascinating because I feel like there's a lot of conversation that can spring off of looking at this one artist's career, where you talk about the showmanship, where you talk about what's the line between selling out and getting the bag so that you can provide for not only your community, but this big ass Ringling Brothers circus crew you got on tour.
Yeah, he has such a crew too. That's the thing too.
And that's part of the reason Hammer went broke. He tried to pay everybody.
Yeah. Like he was paying people just to like stand in the corner, you know.
He fronted the money for Deion Sanders' terrible album.
Right, yeah. Man. Yeah, that was that's definitely a story in like, you know, you can't really feed everybody like that, you know. And he was trying to give jobs. He was trying to do good things for people out there in the Bay. And that's cool. I'll give him credit for this though. He adjusted to middle class life relatively easily after being so rich, you know. And that's a very hard thing for people to do, to go from being rich to being just middle class or just upper middle class. It's like that there's a because when you have wealth for such a long time, you start forgetting what it was like to be broke, you know. And that's how you get people like Ice Cube, you know, coming up with contracts for Black America, you know. It's like you literally haven't had to you haven't been in South Central that long to be doing that, you know.
Cube is at the point in his life where he spent more time in his life being rich and famous than he was coming up.
Yeah, and we're all gonna get to that point. If you have any kind of modicum of success, it's gonna be like Ray is gonna be, you know, and you, Nate, we're all gonna be in that point where we're like living in like a bad neighborhood is a long time ago for us. Right. For me, it's not that long ago, but I still see like elements of me, like, you know, when I'm talking to people and I say something like that not everybody has, but I just assume everybody has it because I'm in the circle with people that have that kind of thing, you know? Like when motherfuckers will be talking about, I gotta wait for the nanny to take care of my kids, and you know that's gonna sound like a flex to somebody that ain't got a nanny, that can't afford a nanny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's what I'm talking about with forgetting about that kind of thing. You know, so it's always, and that's one of the with politics. Not to go off on a tangent, but you always have to remember where you came from and and how you're speaking now, because you don't want to be speaking down to people like you know better than everybody else, especially when you're not on the streets doing the work.
Yep.
You know.
You know the craziest thing about Chris though, he don't like to publicize this, Ray. But this man Chris, the Sultan of Substack, he is so successful that his nanny is actually Fran Drescher.
Right.
Like Fran Drescher is Chris's nanny. And then the craziest part about it is they ain't even got no kids yet.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We
Like,
ain't
who
got,
is she nannying for?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a nanny. We'll have a babysitter though.
A babysitter.
We'll probably have babysitters, but not a nanny. I don't think we're in nanny territory.
You ain't in nanny territory yet.
Yeah. You know, or it's like, but that like, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, the life I used to live, because being broke is different depending on what level of life you are in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
for someone that was as rich as MC Hammer, being middle class for a lot of those people is being broke, and and a lot of people that get from that to that will like kill themselves and shit because they're so ashamed that they lost all that money. There's like I'm not going to name anybody, but the entertainment industry is filled with people like that. Mm-hmm. So the fact that MC Hammer was able to kind of take that, parlay that into a ministry and talk about it and not feel the need to front, because especially in a town like Hollywood, when people are not working anymore, they always want to put off the vibe like they are working, you know. And it feels and it's almost like you know, it's almost like, you know, who it gets to a point where it's like, okay, who are you trying to convince?
Exactly.
Me or yourself, you know?
Right.
Like it's like that. And MC Hammer never went down that road. He always was like self-actualized that like, hey, this is where I was, this is where I'm at now, and blah blah blah. He's probably rich again, you know, but
I think he is.
He's pretty chill on Twitter.
Yeah. But yeah, it you know, he took some heavy lumps, and not everyone's going to be able to.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say about Hammer, Chris, because I feel like somebody was going to be that thing, that person that was going to kind of be the floodgate opening for middle America and corporate America getting into hip hop. Right. In a way that like Run DMC was popular commercially, but there was kind of a ceiling Run DMC bumped up against. Same with somebody like the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys, like they bumped up against the ceiling, but it felt like somebody was going to have to be that person. And that's not easy, because it's like, how do you kind of navigate that where it's like your people love you, like they digging you, and then you get a little too popular. Right. And you get a little too accessible, and too many faces that don't look like your core audience are now showing up at your concerts. And then it gets to a point where the majority of the people at your concert don't look like you or your core audience. And like that line between making the money, getting the bag, and selling out. And it's a very fine line to walk. And I think like Hammer did the best he could in that situation. I don't know what I would have did, Chris. Like I would like to say that now, Chris, I would have kept it real, cuz I ain't changing for nobody. But you put that Hammer money in front of me, Chris, I might switch up on a brother. I might switch up on you. I can't lie.
Especially when you're young and someone's throwing money at you. Like in your 40s, in your late 30s, 40s, that's different. You can be a little bit more like my wife has stopped me from making crazy decisions a bunch. You know, like as far as money, like there was a house in I forgot where it was, somewhere right outside of LA. This was a humongous house. And and my credit qualified for us to live there. Okay. And I was like, babe, all we have to do is pay this much down. Let's go move there. And it was this huge ass fucking mansion. And she was like, hold the fucking phone. If we pay to live here, we are going to be house poor. She said, you will have money for the house. Anything you're doing outside of the house, you will be broke. You will be complaining about gas money. You will be complaining about not having enough food in the house. You'll be complaining about not having
How you
cable.
living in a mansion eating peanut butter and jelly every night?
Right,
Chris?
yeah. So she said, so she was like, let's
grilled cheese sandwiches in the
mansion. So what she was able to number crunch, I was like, oh, okay. And she made it make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like when you're young, you don't do those kind of things. What you do is they throw money at you and they'll be like, okay, Milli Vanilli, here's like $10 million. Just lip sync and we will handle that for you. And you just become rich. Just, you know, be rich, young and handsome and, you know, all that. And
it was all good until you won the damn Grammy.
Right, sure. Yeah. And that's an easy thing. I could already see myself following for that in my 20s. You know, that's a very, especially how broke I was in my 20s, man.
Yeah.
I had no money. I had no help from nobody. Everything was like a struggle, man. Like I used to just go to college events in my 20s just for the free food, you know, some shit that I was in like they come to this Scientology meeting. And I'd be like, yeah, I ain't going to that bullshit. Well, we're gonna have some free Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'd be like, oh, I'll listen to what L. Ron and his boys got to say for a second. You know,
really like, sitting there with a 2-piece. You know what? Just making some points.
Right, yeah.
And that's all they had to do for you, Chris. Off you right. Chicken, brother.
All you had to do was, and then when I got into the position that I'm in now, I know that to get college students to go to things, free food is always gonna be the thing that's gonna get them to go. That's just it. You know, it's like, and it doesn't matter what it is, free pizza, free tacos, whatever. As long as the food is free, they're like gonna be there, you know. Sometimes you have to play tricks and be like, well, you got to stay until the end and then we'll eat. But for the most part, I found people like once they get the free food, they feel like they're
obligated to stay.
Obligated to stay. But the way you get them to stay is you say something that's going to start an argument, you know, and then that's will get people engaged and, you know, wanting to stay, you know.
Okay, like, so Ray, here's the plan. Alternative stream of revenue from Nefarious. We're gonna start like a college barnstorming tour, right? Ray Williams speaks to the youth of America. We're gonna bring him in with free food, Ray. And then the first thing you're gonna say is, let me tell you why Macklemore is the greatest rapper of the 21st century.
Yeah. Oh, that'll start a conversation. Yeah. That'll start a conversation. I feel so bad for you, Ray. We just keep adding extras to what you said about Macklemore. It went from you saying he was a good rapper to you saying he was the greatest rapper of all time to you saying he was the greatest entertainer of all time.
Ray said Michael Jackson who?
Yeah, right. To you saying he's sitting at the right hand of Jesus Christ, you know, like
he's a saint.
The Beatles should bow down to Macklemore.
The Beatles stole from Macklemore. Like, how does that even work, Ray?
Right? Yeah.
Macklemore is forever. Like what?
Right?
Yeah. Good question, Ray. Good lead off question. Doc, what is your question for the group?
My question is going to be, shoot, I should have been thinking of a question while we were
thinking about that chicken from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
11 herbs and spices.
Right. Yeah.
Secret recipe.
I'm still thinking how your Milli Vanilli still sound like
Luka Doncic.
Like Doncic, like Luka. 1,000 voices.
Now that line always stuck with me on the Milli Vanilli behind the music. He was like, I think it may have been Fab, not Rob. I think it was Fab who was just like, we had everything we wanted. All we had to do was not get too much publicity. Then we won the fucking Grammy.
Yeah.
Damn. I feel bad for the boys, man.
Yeah, and it was the best. I think that best new artist.
Yeah, best new artist
is a little bit snake bitten sometimes. Yes.
Yeah, didn't my boy, he ain't even my boy, but I just remember him winning over Boys to Men the year Boys to Men came out. Mark Cohn for Walking in Memphis.
Oh yeah.
And Mark Cohn was like 40 years old when that joint came out, talking about best new artist. I'm like, come on, buddy.
Right, yeah. Because they gave it to Amy Grant one year, I believe.
Yeah.
They gave it to Jamiroquai.
Now that one I like. I like Jamiroquai.
It was a good album, but like
who was he up against? That's the question.
It was some other good artists. You might have to look that up.
That Virtual Insanity joint was hot though.
Yeah, Futures made of virtual.
Here you go, Ray.
And I thought he did a good. He did a good.
He was moving on.
He did a good performance at the MTV Music Awards that year because he was walking on the stage it was like a treadmill kind of platform thing. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was a cool thing. Cool time to be alive, man.
That Jamiroquai album, man, I love that one. The one of Virtual Insanity, like that was.
Yeah.
That was like it was like right around high school or college. I can't remember.
Yeah, for me it was high school.
Yeah, it was like that one hit.
Yeah.
All them songs, Ray. All them songs, even the songs you don't know about. I was listening to all the songs on that record, man. He even had like not one, but two didgeridoo songs on there because he's Australian, I guess. And he had two didgeridoo songs. I even listened to the didgeridoo songs, even though they were both very similar. I couldn't tell the songs apart. No lyrics, just didgeridoo, Ray.
Maybe he was the inspiration behind Andre 3000 going to the flute.
With the flute?
Like, you can do
he came out with the flute album.
Yeah, the flute album was all right as far as flute album goes, Ray.
Yeah.
As far as
like I can only judge it against its contemporaries.
Yeah, I've never heard any other flute albums.
The only other flute album I heard is some commercials back in the day for Zamfir, Master of the Pan Flute.
Right, yeah, and flute was never an instrument that I took interest in, even when I was briefly in band for like 2-3 weeks.
The one time at band camp.
I did the flute. I did the trumpet for like maybe a week or two.
Okay. All right, Louis Armstrong.
Right, yeah.
We are brothers in the brass, my friend. I was a trumpet player as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Satchmo Williams.
But
Chris, you were Dizzy Gillespie. Chris, I feel like we vamped enough. What is your question for the team?
Okay, so my question is gonna be let me think. I'm sorry, my critical thinking skills are so off right now. There's no one to go back to. Let me think. My question is gonna be what is your favorite underrated action comedy?
Okay. What is your favorite underrated action comedy? Okay, I like that. Ray Williams, what is your? You already knew what was gonna happen, Ray. What is your most favorite underrated action comedy?
Dang it. I'm trying to think because I don't want to miss anything. But yeah, I mean,
you know what, Ray? I'll let you off the hook this time. I'll go because I got one.
Dang.
My favorite underrated action comedy, and again, underrated is a word that takes on different meaning depending on who you ask. But I would say this movie is underrated, even though I feel like it was like a hood classic. But I'm looking at underrated in terms of like the general audience. let's go back to that man Marty Moore. Had a couple good action movies. Had a good little run. But my favorite of the Martin Lawrence action movies, he had Black Knight. He had what was the other one? There was another one.
Was it the one with
National Security? Yeah.
Oh,
what the problem is?
Yeah.
What the problem is?
But out of all of the run of Martin Lawrence's kind of action comedies, my favorite was Blue Streak.
Yeah.
Like Blue Streak to me is underrated, man. Like just Martin was at his peak in his prime in that one. You had Owen Wilson, who made like a really great kind of straight man sidekick. You had the Dave Chappelle cameo in that one.
Yeah.
Where Dave Chappelle was a suspect that was roughed up. He was one of Martin's homeboys, but Martin roughs him up. Spoiler alert. And when Dave Chappelle's like got his mouth gagged and his arms tied, and they're asking him questions. Is this man assaulting you? But then my favorite part at the end of the movie, man. Spoiler alert for Blue Streak. It's a chase scene. They headed towards the border. Martin was not really a law officer. Kind of like a lot of those people in ICE uniforms right now. Not really an officer of the law. Message. And the chase ends up at the Mexican border, and they defeat the bad guy. Martin's getting ready to get arrested, but then he realizes he's on the Mexican side of the border.
Yeah.
And then he tells Owen Wilson, he's like, I've been a federale the whole time. And Owen Wilson's like, what? He's like, yeah, a federale. I've been undercover. I couldn't tell you, or I'd lose my federale hood. And he's like, so you're Mexican? He's like, yes, I'm all about the red, the white. And then he can't remember the third color in the Mexican flag, so he has to look up.
Yeah, he looks back. Yeah.
And the green. Viva Las Mexico.
Tango El Gato en los pantalones.
El Gato en los pantalones. And then they go out with that, I think is it the
Jay-Z?
Jay-Z, yeah. Well, speaking of one of Jay-Z's poppy songs,
let me scream your name.
Yeah, like Blue Streak. Blue Streak, that to me is an underrated action comedy. So what do you got, Ray Williams? Now that I've given you time to think.
All right. Well, the only big one you had some good ones, and I think Blue Streak would have been up there for me as well. One that I'm trying to think, because I recently watched a documentary on Charlie Sheen, and I forgot all.
He's got a few that I like. Yeah,
I forgot all about Money Talks that he did.
That's one of my favorite ones too. Is Money
that's
Talks.
Up there for me. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I like The Chase as well with him and Christy. Was it Christy Swanson that's in that?
Oh, I think she is.
Yeah.
The
Chase is great. If you guys haven't seen The Chase, I highly recommend it. It's not a great movie, but you'll be entertained for 90 minutes or so.
And by the way, Christy Swanson, fine glass of milk.
Never beat the allegations, Ray.
Yeah, I think she turned MAGA too, Christy.
What?
Oh, no,
not Buffy.
I think Buffy. So. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's like she was in Higher Learning too.
Yeah, Buffy the Democracy Slayer.
In Buffy, she's how funky is your chicken? How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? I remember that the most from Buffy. Shout out to Luke Perry too, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one that comes to mind right away. I'm trying to think. You said underrated. Another one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but I think it's called 30 Seconds or Less with Michael Cera and Aziz Ansari.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Before Aziz got booted out of the industry.
Yeah.
You trying to make a comeback.
I think that fool booted himself out of the industry.
Yeah.
When that girl was telling that, you just, dude,
Yeah.
man up, my dude. Come on.
He was good on Parks and Recs.
He was very good on Parks and Recs. In the Kobe system commercial, I thought he was funny on that. Yeah.
That Kobe Sister commercial, like, again, my favorite of all. And Kanye is a difficult figure to talk about these days, but it's the one where Kobe's like, "Can you be the same animal yet a different beast?" And then Kanye's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Kobe Bryant?"
Kobe Bryant.
It gets me every time because Kanye's like the whole time. Kanye's like, I understand. Can you be the same animal but a different beast?
Right.
Fuck you talking about, Kobe Bryant? Yeah.
Can you sell? What if I'm selling the most albums? Sell more albums. What if I'm already the greatest? Be greater.
Be greater. But I can't.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Money Talks. That's
Money Talks is my choice
right there.
Doc, you asked the damn question. What is your favorite underrated action movie?
All right, so forgive me, you two and everybody in the audience who might be watching, all 25 of you on the Substack and whoever's on the YouTube. But my favorite action comedy that's underrated is gonna be an 80s joint starring Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal called Collision Course. I don't know if you all have seen that, but this is Gregory Hines actually gets top billing in the movie. He was a bigger star than Billy Crystal because Billy Crystal was like a year away from When Harry Met Sally, that the one that sent him to the stratosphere. Jimmy Smits is in it as the bad guy. One of those models is in it too. I forget her name, but she's not alive anymore. She played Billy Crystal's wife in the movie.
Okay.
But it was just one of those funny kind of action comedies early in the genre. Like, started like probably the producers of that movie probably saw the success of 48 Hours and came up with that movie. So
okay, good answer, Doc. All right, so it's my turn. Ray, I don't know if you know, but a few days ago we just concluded the Winter Olympics, brother. I don't know nobody that watched these Winter Olympics. I don't know anybody that's excited about these Winter Olympics. Like, shout out to the USA men's and women's hockey teams. That was cool. Shout out to the Jamaican bobsled team. I don't know if they finished it all, but shout out to them always.
Shout out to the black girl that's on the women's hockey team.
Yep. Shout out to that sister particularly. But I've never been a Winter Olympics fan, but even with my limited enthusiasm for the Winter Olympics, there'll be years, Ray, where I at least knew and watched. And part of this is just getting older and having to work at the job so many hours. But it's like, I think I may have watched the first or second men's hockey game, and that was it. That's all I watched for the whole Olympics. But my question, fellas, because Cool Runnings is one of the greatest movies of all time. I say it, Ray. You know, in your language, Ray, Cool Runnings is like the Macklemore of sports movies. Can never be topped. Telling the story of this Jamaican bobsled team led by John Candy and starring Malik Yoba and Leon from the 5 Heartbeats and other films and Dougie Doug. You dead, man? No, man.
Yeah.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up, Ray, because it's bobsled time. Then you had the German team, 1, 2, 3. I can go into a whole thing on Cool Runnings here, Ray, but the question I actually want to ask you is, thinking of sports movies, is there an athlete that you would like to see a sports movie made about? And like could be somebody that had a great career, somebody that had a short career, an Olympian, a football player, MMA, whatever. Who would you like to see a sports movie made about? And we'll start with you, Chris.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few that I've already seen too. Like there's a movie about Hank Gathers who played for Loyola Marymount in the 80s.
Him and Bo Kimball.
Yeah. Nell Carter's the star of that movie. She played his mom. Let me see. There was I'm trying to think of other athletes because I you just say the easy thing like Kobe Bryant, but I like the sports stories that are like a little bit about people that are like really like that. So there were two movies in the 90s. Sorry, I'm giving you guys a long answer to this. So this will give you time to think about yours, Ray. But there were two sports movies in the 90s about the same guy. Mm-hmm. One of them was called Prefontaine, about the guy, the runner Prefontaine. And then the other movie that came out the same year was called Without Limits, the story of Prefontaine. Both of them were good movies. One of them starred Jared Leto, the other one starred someone else. And it's one of those situations where the studio gets a hold of a script and they like the script and the idea for the movie, but they don't want to buy that person's movie, or they got outbid, so they come out with their own movie, a la Volcano and Dante's Peak, Ants versus A Bug's Life, a bunch of movies. What you would call it? There's so many movies like
Deep
that.
Impact.
Right? Yeah, Deep Impact versus so many of those kind of Deep Impact, Armageddon. I think if I was gonna pick a sports movie, it would probably be with like maybe something on Pele.
Okay.
Because like he hasn't. I don't know if I've ever seen a sports movie with him. And I love Invictus too. That was a very good one too, about the South African team. Nelson Mandela calls him up. But yeah, it'd be something like something about Pele, because I've always been fascinated about Pele, about how popular he brought soccer to the United States of America, into different cities like Los Angeles, New York, all the big like cities, and had a lot of brothers embrace soccer. I wasn't a big soccer fan, but because of Pele, I was at least interested in it for that season of my life. And RIP to Pele, who died maybe a couple years ago. But yeah, that's who I'd want to see a movie of.
Okay, that's a great choice, Chris. Like Pele, people forget how big Pele was globally back in the day. Ray, you've had time to think. Hopefully you didn't get sidetracked when Chris mentioned Armageddon. I know you're a fan of that movie, particularly that one scene featuring Liv Tyler with the animal crackers. Ray is like, cookies and milk? Yes, please. Ray didn't want to miss a thing on that movie. But anyway, Ray Williams, what is your answer, brother?
I see what you did there. Honorable mention goes out. I don't think like an actual like dramatic or dramatization of this particular athlete has been made. I think there's been like a ton of documentaries, but I would love to see a movie on Len Bias. Now that you mentioned Hank Mathers.
Yeah. I was thinking of Len Bias too, but I thought I saw a movie on Len Bias. I'm not sure though.
I know there's a documentary. I don't know if they like a dramatization, but I know there's a documentary about it that was like pretty good.
30 for 30.
Yeah, 30 for 30.
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
Or like an HBO type thing. But yeah, just the what could have been, like people don't realize like he he was going to be coming out. I don't know if it was the year before or the year after Jordan. Like he was supposed to have been seen as like the new wave, like the chosen one.
Right. Yeah.
So, and he was like to give context to Lynn Bias, like he was kind of that next superstar that was coming up, and he was drafted to the Celtics, who were like kind of at the tail end of the Bird, Mikhail Parrish. So he was going to be like the next Celtics legend, was what everybody was saying. And then he died, unfortunately, tragically.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a story on that. You mentioned MMA fighters, so a couple of honorable mentions. I would love to see a documentary on Chuck Liddell, or not a documentary, but like a movie adaptation of Chuck Liddell's life. One of the greatest light heavyweight champions in UFC history. He's just crazy, just wild. Of course, when it's all said and done with this particular gentleman, just the ups and downs with Conor McGregor and just where things end up with him. It would be interesting to see, like, dramatized in the film. But the person who I'm going to stick with is a little known name. He fought in the UFC a few times. This man is known as Lightning Lee Murray. I don't know if you gentlemen heard of this brother. So he fought in the UFC for a couple years, and he fought in MMA and around those circles. I think he actually took on Anderson Silva before Anderson Silva became a big deal, and he went to a decision with Anderson Silva. This brother, he grew up in London, but he's the type of guy where he'll fight you. He doesn't care if it's in the ring or outside of the ring. Once he gets some drinks in him, like, he'll take on anybody. Like, there's stories of him just beating people to a pulp once he gets out of the club. Like, but that's not the craziest story. The craziest story is that this brother mastermind an armed robbery that stole, I believe, like millions of dollars in like gold coins and different like items of gold, and he almost got away with it, and he got caught up like within a few days. So just the crazy story around this brother's life.
Was he robbing banks, or was he robbing like the casinos he was fighting in?
It wasn't the casinos.
Because to me, that would be genius, Ray. That's some like Ocean's 11 type stuff. Like, all right, we got the hacker, we got the contortionist, we got the person that can impersonate somebody. What you gonna do? Hey, I'm gonna be in the ring, I'm gonna be fighting while y'all do the robbing, and that way I got an alibi.
No, it wasn't like that. It was like he went out and then, did like, the robbing.
Now I'm just taking your movie and stealing like Hollywood, Ray. Because then the thing is, he's got to last at least 3 rounds for them to be able to steal all the money. And so, like, he's in a fight. The final fight is a dude that everybody's like, oh, he gonna whoop his ass. It's gonna be a technical first round knockout, and he's getting beat up, Ray. But he can't lose because they got to fight 3 rounds so his crew can steal the money and get out. And like the whole time, he in there in the corner is like, no, you got to give it up. This ain't worth it. Nah, I'm going to go back out there. Finally, in the 3rd round, Ray, he get knocked out. And then the corner's like, was it worth it, man? Was it worth it? And then you see the crew like speeding off in the distance. He's like, hell yeah, it was worth it. I don't know. That's just we're gonna use that as a stand-in for the music we're gonna use until we get the rights to the actual song. But like, that's gonna be the end of the movie.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I don't think it was quite like that. He wanted to get his hands dirty. He didn't want his boys to do it without him. So like, I think I got it up. Yeah, I got it up on Wikipedia now. During his MMA career from 1999 to 2004, he fought 12 times, including a victory in the Ultimate Fighting Championships at UFC 46. He organized the Securitas Depot robbery in February 2006, where around 53 million pounds in cash belonging to the Bank of England was stolen by Murray and his associates. It was the largest known cash robbery in the world during peacetime.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, I would love seeing that. If we ever do this question again, I'd probably pick like MVP or Booker T, especially MVP because I looked up MVP's arrest. It sounds like what you're talking about, Ray. He was they robbed a bunch of fast food store like the chest, and stole money from him. And I Googled that shit. I think I even found that shit on Microfiche in the library. And it was all up there. Alvin Burke Jr., I believe his real name is, and how they got it was like, I want to say like 6 of them, maybe. Yeah. That's what, yeah.
He's talked about it too, I think, and one of them was like, I think it was like a cruise, like a casino ship or a cruise.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. That's exactly what it was, Ray. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, but that story exists on. If you Google it, that shit does exist. I've seen it.
Yeah. I thought of the song now, Ray. I thought of the song because you told us the real life details. So they robbing this bank in England, right? He got to fight 3 rounds, right? So he getting beat up the whole fight, and we seen it. Like he getting his ass whooped, Ray. Somebody like the state commission or the country commission should throw this out because this man should not be fighting these 3 rounds. But he makes it to the end. He loses. The corner man's like, "Hey, come on, man, was it worth it?" And he just look up, face all bloody, but he's smiling. Yeah. It was worth everything. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Come on, Ray. Yeah. Come on, Ray.
We need those royalties.
That line was in the movie The Wood too. After he grabbed what's her name's booty at the on the playground, that Stacy beat his ass. They asked him, but was it worth it, man? And he's like, yeah, it was worth it.
Oh, I asked the damn question, Ray. I got a couple answers. Honorable mentions. First honorable mention, and this will happen someday, particularly since this brother is actively involved in Hollywood. LeBron. Like a LeBron story, I think will be fascinating. One of the most influential and important athletes of our time. The second name I would throw out, Ray, because I feel like much in the way that I dug the story of Moneyball, even though I kind of knew a lot about those Oakland A's, I would like to see a movie about like the Braves of the early 90s that went from this laughing stock. Yeah. They couldn't even give away tickets to going from worst to first, and then that kicking off this run that has lasted for all of these years where even if they don't win the World Series every year, they're always in the mix. They always win the division. They're always kind of a contender, and like where that came from and all the people, Hank Aaron and Bobby Cox and the whole front office organization and players like Dave Justice, Terry Pendleton, Ron Gant. Like, I think that'd be a fascinating Ted Turner. Like, you got to have a good actor play Ted Turner in that movie.
Yeah. And like I just because I had just moved to Tennessee during that time, and I was a big fan of the Braves, and just seeing David Justice walk around with this fine ass Halle Berry, I had no clue who she was, and I saw that, and that was just a visual that stuck out to me and never left. And I was like, and I became like, I just was enamored with that Braves team.
Like, they went from a laughing stock to like the cool team. Like, they were the cool team in baseball. And for the movie, Ray, because you got to have at least a couple scenes with Deion Sanders from his time on the Braves. You can get Shiloh to play his daddy. Prime time. I'm here to play baseball. Don't let Tim McCarver come out. I have prime time, baby. Shiloh Sanders as Dion. But my number one answer, Ray, and I thought you were getting ready to steal it when you were talking about MMA, but I'm glad you didn't. Because rearview mirror, jumbo dice, trunk hit hard.
Oh,
like Kimbo Slice.
Oh yeah.
Like I think of like a dramatic presentation of Kimbo's story, like coming up on the streets of Miami in those street fights. Like people forget, like he was a viral sensation before we even knew what the word viral sensation meant.
Right.
Just seeing Kimbo knock these grown ass men out in these street fights in Miami, and then going to legitimate MMA and being kind of this sideshow character in Strikeforce to a certain extent. And then eventually, ultimately, finding a spot in the UFC. Like obviously, he was by the time he got to the UFC, he was nowhere near the age or skill level that you needed to be to compete at those levels. But the fact that he made it to the UFC from fighting in those streets of Miami, I think that's a hell of a story that you could tell.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sad ending, though.
I mean, it don't have to be a sad ending. I mean, like obviously it's sad because the brother's no longer with us, but you could end on a highlight and then do the fade to black Ray.
Yeah, it could be like the with the movie about with Jeffrey Wright, the bus boycott. That's where the movie ends. It doesn't end with Martin Luther King standing on the balcony getting shot. Yeah, you can like, end
hey Martin, don't stand on that balcony, brother. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
but I think
been a Ron Howard production.
If you're going to tell the story of Kimbo, I think that's a part of it too. Like, you got to at least mention that. Well, you got to have that like.
I think it is like a part of the story. I don't think that it is a part of the story, but I don't think that has to diminish from what he accomplished.
Yeah, like if you watch like Jackie Robinson or like Jackie Robinson's got like 3 or 4 different movies about him. And they're all about different eras of his life. There's this one Jackie Robinson movie. I can't find it anywhere. I've been looking for it for decades. Starring Andre Braugher. And it's called I want to say it's The Trial of Jackie Robinson or something like that. It came on TNT one time in the 90s. And that had nothing to do with anything relating to his early death and anything like that. You can do a movie about a person and make it be about one specific part of their life, just like with Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall has like a zillion movies about him and his different trials and shit. The last theatric one was the one with the dude from This Is Us and Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P.
Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown. Yeah, that was about that one trial, So you could do a movie with Kimbo Slice that ends with him going to the UFC and it'd be fine, I think.
But the thing is, though, is like you're mentioning all of these figures that are very well known. Is Kimbo Slice that he ain't getting?
I think he's known enough
to. This nigga getting one movie, and we want to just tell his story.
You know how many students I've had that have not known who Thurgood Marshall is? More than I care to admit. It happens, man. It happens. It depends on who the figure is. It depends on the part of their life that they're told. If it's an intriguing person, people are going to want to see different movies.
It depends on the actor too. Like I know. I'm kind of positive about this brother from being in a recent Marvel series, Ray. But if you get Yaya to portray a Kimbo Slice, I think what Yaya brings to the table as an actor, like you get the joy, you get the struggle, you get the pain. I think there's a way to tell the Kimbo Slice story, all the parts of the Kimbo Slice story, but still have the ultimate feel of the movie be like, damn, that dude accomplished a lot when he probably shouldn't have accomplished any of it.
Wow.
Yeah, you could do his movie that as a flashback that starts with the funeral and then goes to this, tells them story from all the way up to the funeral,
Now,
like they did with Remember the Titans with that one dude.
you got a good point though. I think maybe instead of the funeral, you start at his last fight and then you move it back. But then you do like they did with the wrestlers, where you don't show like the shots that really take them out. You just show them going out for like that third round and then fade to black and be like, unfortunately, Kimbo Slice, aka Kevin Ferguson, died due to injury.
Yeah, just do the epilogue. Yeah,
and then you get after that, you give the audience a moment, and then you just end with like some montage of like Kimbo, like the actual Kimbo,
right?
And it's just like, I think that's the way you leave the movie with like, the way he died was tragic, but also like this dude got the most out of that life.
Right. Yeah.
And you mentioned, I don't know if Yaya can. Well, maybe Yaya can make that like physical transformation.
I was gonna say that'd be the thing, just the physical look.
Right. I think, and I know this brother. I don't know if he's made it back up like into prominence just yet, but this could be a film Jonathan Majors could get.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's throwing up the pot now, Ray Williams.
Yeah. Disney still hasn't replaced him yet.
Right.
I think they ended his contract. I think it's kind of one of those things where they're
he wasn't
testing.
fired. They just didn't renew the deal, Chris.
Yeah. They Disney can always go back and revisit that kind of shit. It's not like they've got precedent for doing that, So I mean,
I'll let you think about Yaya though for a minute, Ray. I'll let you think about Yaya as Kimbo Slice, because when you're making that kind of casting choice, you have to take in all the variables and sit down and think about it. I mean, it really makes you wonder.
Oh, here we
man
couldn't escape it for one episode.
I didn't even have to wear the shirt tonight, Ray. I didn't even have to wear the shirt. But you know what? We had a good time talking about these topics. These are some good questions that everybody brought to the table. As Chris said, man, MC Hammer, we learned a lesson from that, man. You can't feed everybody, but we can feed the damn ducks on the pond here at the Parley. You already cut the music, Ray?
Yeah, it was faded out.
So you just decided to cut it and end the momentum of the segment.
Yeah.
Ray's like, what more do you want from me?
you tell me I go too abruptly. Then when we fade out, you tell me I can't do nothing right.
Can't do nothing right. But we did something right here tonight on the Parley presented by Nefarious Media Network. We hope everybody enjoyed the program. As we start to wind things down, if you are new to us and what we do, be sure to check us out, man. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to all the show's socials, because we do this each and every week. We got a lot of different programs here at the network, and we're trying to bring truthful, thoughtful, turned-up commentary to this podcast space, a space that sorely needs it. So with that, Ray Williams, our fearless producer, anything you would like to promote, anything you'd like to shout out as we end things off tonight?
Well, I always appreciate being able to join you, brothers, for one more podcast. I take it one podcast at a time, so I appreciate you, brothers, for allowing me to once again be a part of the team. Of course, you can find me on everything Nefarious, whether it be Kings of Sport proper, whether it be the Parley as you're listening to it, whether it be SBF, Styles Break Fights, which is our MMA podcast on here, or Ring Theory when I'm joined by the greatest tag team of all wrestling podcasts, Brother Gerard Brown and Jay Lacey. You can find me anywhere on here, or whether I'm just tagging along in the background, listening to people talk about stuff that I don't really know nothing about. Insert insert the Avengers Initiative and Super Salad. So yeah, you can find me all over. Personally, if you want to find me, I'm at Mondo Dondo on Instagram and at Two Way Ray on Blue Sky.
Thank you so much, Ray Williams. We joke with you a little bit, but we appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna give you the highest compliment I could give anybody. You are the Macklemore of producers, Ray.
I knew you were going there.
Best dead or alive.
I don't know if I can fill those lofty shoes, but I appreciate the sentiment.
But speaking of lofty shoes, we got the doc in the building.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Chris Ely, the angry intellectual, the head of the thinking class, the Sultan of Substack. Chris, anything you want to shout out before we end things tonight, my man?
Yeah, just check out my Substack. If you're watching through the Substack, this is what we do. I know I've had a lot of readers ask me when I was going to start appearing on shows and all that stuff. I'll be doing Elite LS stuff pretty soon, I'm confident. But we do this on our YouTube channel. So go to the YouTube channel, add the YouTube channel, go to the Patreon, Nefarious Media, add the Patreon, buy some merch. And hopefully we could start doing this a little more regularly,
Yeah.
and leave feedback, good or bad, positive or negative, just not too much on the negative. But no, I'm joking. Just if you got any feedback, we take all constructive feedback. Don't start with any of the racist crap or whatever. But if I sound too goofy or something, just let a brother know or whatever.
Yeah, we don't mind if it's negative as long as it's respectful.
Yeah. If you disagree with one of my points, let me know. If you agree, let me know.
Who would ever disagree with any of Chris's points other than MC Hammer tonight?
Yeah. Maybe him.
I was trying to think of a Hammer joke that I could spin off of that, but it's getting late. But surprisingly enough, this is not the longest show that we've done. This is actually one of our more moderate timed episodes at 2.5 hours. But if you want more from the network, check us out, as Chris mentioned, on all of our socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the IG, TikTok, all of those. Blue Sky, we're on Blue Sky. We're still on Twitter for now. And we're on Threads as well. And then another way you can support us is through the Patreon, because we are on the drive for 500 Patreon subscribers is our stretch goal, because that will go a long way towards helping us out here at the network. It'll allow us to bring in some new producers to help Ray out. It will allow us to upgrade our equipment. It will allow us to do some things specifically and exclusively for the Patreon, because all of us are busy. We work a lot of hours in addition to doing this, and the extra revenue from the Patreon will allow us a little bit more time to devote to Nefarious. And then if you subscribe to the YouTube, 500 is halfway to monetization, because as we all know, no matter how good your message is, if the people can't see it or hear it, then it doesn't do any good in the world. And one way to get your message amplified is through money. That's the way the world works, Ray Williams. But for everything else, man, just follow us. We appreciate it, because we done talked a lot, Ray. We done talked about a lot of topics, man. A lot of things to make people think, what's going on in the world. And I know it's crazy right now, but it's going to be all right, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes we all just need to take a moment and sit down and think about life, Ray. Things in the world, what really matters, because sometimes it just really makes you wonder, man. Wonder, man. See, this is the funny thing now. Like, I feel like Wonder Man is gonna be my RKO. How many ways can I to workshop back to Wonder Man to see if I can get Ray every time?
out of nowhere.
Just Wonder Man out of nowhere.
You just talked about not having a T-shirt and then you just plopped it up.
I was gonna say that I actually had to go find a T-shirt. Like, where did I put that T-shirt? Wonder Man. But we appreciate everybody that took the time to watch tonight, and to everybody in the future that is either watching or listening to this on our podcast stream. We do this every month. We do this every week. We do this because we love the game and we want the game to get better. So shout out to everybody that checked out the parlay tonight, especially the Substack people, Chris's folks. We appreciate y'all checking us out, and we gonna do this again very, very soon. So for Chris Ely, the good professor, for Ray Williams, the super producer, I am the Godfather, Nate Milton. You've been watching The Parlay, presented by the Nefarious Media Network. See y'all next time.